Salutations Spider fans, Angel swinging in with more content for you. This video is only for Spider-Man fans, so the rest can leave. Oh well, for the one person still here, comment down below what is your favorite Spider-Man. And don't forget, liking and subscribing is totally free and will help us push out content similar to this one. But without further ado, I bring you the Bandai Tamashii Nation's Figuarts Miles Morales. At first glance, this figure is very skinny. Bandai has made Spider-Man figures before, but this is the first time they're going into Across the Spider-Verse figures. But I have to say, for this being Bandai's first Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse figure, I really gotta say, Bandai really captures the movie representation with this figure, especially with the ridges on the suit. Playing with the figure for a while, I realize it is really flexible. There isn't a pose you can't put him in. Going into more depth with the articulation, when it comes to his head, most of the movement comes from the neck. There is great articulation with the wrist joint and also the arms. Now thinking about it, it would be kind of weird to have a stiff Spider-Man. I'm not surprised this Spider-Man can do the splits. What I am surprised about is how flexible his ankle joint is. It's so flexible you can actually roll his ankle. Oh, great heaven! The Miles figure does come with two alternate unmasked heads, the stare into complete emptiness face and the face. Down here are the necks for the masked and the unmasked faces, and right here down in the middle are wide expression eyes for the masked one. You can use your nail to remove the eyes to replace them with the wider expression one, or you could use this tool that comes with the figure. But this tool is used for something else, and I'll get into it in a little bit. You could also mix and match the eyes to give him a face. This is what it looks like to have both wide eyes on the mask. Now when it comes to swapping out the necks and the head, you would first pull off the head, but sometimes the neck does come with it. If you wanted to put an unmasked face on it, you would first have to slide the neck sleeve and also pop it down with the head of your choosing. But I also noticed the back of his head doesn't match the rest of his hair color. I think Tamashii Nations was trying to go for like a fade, but to be honest, I don't really see it. With hand accessories, you do get 5 pairs of interchangeable hands. You have the open palm hands, the regular hands that the Miles comes with, web hanging hands, and web slinging hands. And the last one being the really open hands. You do get a really cool stand with the Spider-Man logo in the middle and the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse title, and this one kind of being a web swinging or web hanging, as well as one long web shooting web and one small web shooting web. Now with the tool I mentioned before, there is a small cutout on the back of Miles Morales' back that you would have to use the tool to pry it out. But trust me, it is easier said than done. The reason why you would pop it out is because with the clamp, there is a bit of a limitation, but if you were to take off the clamp, you would notice there's a small little peg. And you guessed it, that peg goes into Miles's back, which gives you more possibilities and more freedom to put him in even more Spider-Man poses. For putting on the web shooters, it is pretty easier than the last. You first just pull off the hand. There is a little loop on the web where you slide the wrist joint through and pop a web shooter hand on top of it to hold it in place. I would say I do have a bit of trouble swapping the hands because the peg on the wrist is pretty small. When you want to use a swinging web, these hands will go with it. They even have a little hole where you can slide the web through. And you can either use only one hand, or you can use it on both hands and slide the web through it. We are now going to compare the height of Miles Morales with some other figures I have. We have here the Figuarts Gwen Stacy and the Figuarts Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And I do notice that Miles Morales is taller than Goku, and I even had to look it up for myself if that is true, and unfortunately it isn't. Miles Morales is 5'8", and Goku being 5'9". But anyway, that is going to be it for the end of this video. If I had to rate this figure, I would have to give it a solid 9. Especially for it being the first figure that Bandai has produced under the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse line. It's really great. The back piece is really difficult to take it out, and I feel like they could have done an easier option like they have done in the past with the Great Saiyaman Gohan and the fused Zamasu. I do wish that it did add a half unmasked face like in the movie, or at least a pair of two fists. But I hope you enjoyed. Remember, subscribing and liking the video helps us out tremendously. And also share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be sure to respond back. This is Angel saying, see you around.